Have you ever said to yourself, or ever heard the phrase, I can't wait until this happens, or I can't wait until I have that? You know, it's a phrase I used to use all the time in college. And then when I went to the seminary, my best friend now called me out. He told me, stop wasting your life away. And I never heard that before. I asked him, what do you mean by that? He says, you're always wishing for something else. But if you're always wishing for the future, you'll never appreciate the present moment. And that always stuck with me. How often in our lives do we lose the present moment? How often in our lives do we wish we can be present to the people in front of us, or even to ourselves? Nowadays, we can go into any office or any home, and you'll never see someone just sit in silence, appreciating the moment. But we're always looking at our devices. We're always looking for something more. And in some ways, we're always grasping for the future in hope of something better. Today, in the gospel, Jesus tells us that those who exalt themselves will be humbled, and those who humble themselves will be exalted. You know, the thing about humility is everyone wants it, but we don't know how to get it. But let me try to explain this for you. It's something that helped me, is that the root word of human is humor. It means to be grounded, to be earthly. And really to be present, to live, is to be truly human. To be truly human is to live in the moment, to be grateful for what we have. So it means to be grounded, to be earthly. But when we start grasping for more than we are, and in some ways, we're lifting ourselves above where we are. And the only way down toward the ground level, the earthly, the grounded, is to be humiliated or to humble yourself. And the interesting thing is that both those words have the same Latin root, humor. To be earthly, to be grounded, to lower yourself. But that means just to be grateful for who you are, to be human. You know, in the book of Genesis, the story came that Adam and Eve were made from the ground, the dirt, to be earthly, to be grounded. Haven't you ever heard the phrase when you talk about someone? You said, wow, they're grounded. They're just grounded in what they are. They're real. They're genuinely who they are. And that's what we want to be. But how do we do that? How do we truly be human? How do we be grateful for what we have? And the key is to not always grasp for the future. It's to be grateful. How often are we grateful for the things in front of us? A good rule of thumb, and maybe try it tonight and every other night, is that reflect on your day and think of 3 things you're grateful for. Someone once told me when I was upset to think of 15 things you're grateful for, and I thought it was ridiculous. But if you try it, 15 things is a lot. You might go through it. And, the first couple of things is, I'm grateful that it's a sunny day. I'm grateful for the clothes on my back. But, once you get to about 10, you really have to dig deep and really look at your life. What are you grateful for? But, after that practice, I was no longer upset. To be truly human is to be grateful. To be truly present in our lives is to just be grateful for what we have. And this day, this weekend, we start the World Day of Prayer for the care of creation. And Pope Francis designates this day, September 1st, all the way until October 4th, for us to reflect on our lives, to reflect on creation. Are we taking good care of it? Are we really being respectful of it? Are we grateful for it? So this weekend, let us reflect on the things we're grateful for and give praise to our God. As you come before the Lord today, where Christ is truly present before you, let us continue to ask the Lord for the strength and the courage to bring this to Him, things we're grateful for, but also bring the difficulties in our lives. If we always wish for something in the future, what is it? Bring those struggles, those temptations to the Lord so that He can help purify our hearts, so that one day we could be grateful and love as He has loved us. Amen.